Good evening, everyone. Welcome again to Metro TV. I think that's what we're calling it, Rob, aren't we? Yeah, so Metrostars TV, backing up from last week where I caught up with Danny Greystone, which I had a really great time. Once again, obviously, welcome to our sponsors, Solar Lab, Metro Homes. Obviously, don't want to forget about Newton's as well, and anyone else associated in a sponsorship capacity with Metrostars. My name's Michael Pirone, for those that didn't see last week's edition. And today I've got new player to the club, Noah McNamara, making me look very, very small here today. So thanks Noah. Thanks for joining me.
No worries. Pleasure to be here.
Cheers. So these are going to be some really stock standard sort of questions, a little bit vanilla, I guess we call it in the industry. I just want you to start by telling me a little bit about your football journey. I know a little bit, only what I got told a few days ago and over the last couple of days, in so much that you've been through, I guess, what we call in the system, so through the NTC. Were you with a club before that? Obviously you were. Who was that, and how have you found yourself to be here at Metro this season?
Yeah, so started all the way down at under sixes up at Campbelltown. Played all the way through there until under 11s, under 12s. And then that sort of kicked off my journey in the system, so to speak, with Richie Alagic, Vlado, Blazeka, so in the under 12s there. And then through with Elvis in the under 13s and next stage up, all the way through to NTC with Calviet, and then pushing on towards United Reserves and the full youth team with Paul Pezos and Ayrton Andrioli as well.
So there's some really, really impressive names, and I'm not talking quite seriously now. Obviously, Richie, being the most decorated United player, I guess, in that crew, and had a really great career. Carl is the current senior coach. Paul Pezos. Was there anything specific that I guess you would have taken a little bit from all those coaches, and not asking you to name favourites, but I guess Paul Pezos, as an example, was a really, really good defender. You play as a centre-back. What I've been told is you're very cultured on the ball, in all seriousness. You're very technical. Did you take some more from one coach than the other with respect?
I think the biggest thing I took away from all of them was that, using my left foot to my advantage. So just driving in with the ball, finding a longer ball if it's on, really making use of that, because, I wasn't aware of it back then, but they were saying, a lot that left-footed centre-backs are pretty hard to find.
Yes, they are. Absolutely. What have you been you've only just sort of would have done the pre-season before Christmas. What are your earliest impressions of the club so far? And don't worry, you won't offend anyone. So just let us know what what your experience has been to this point.
Yeah, it's been all positive. I think coming in from even before day one, speaking with Danny, VD, Nick and Rob as well, it's pretty clear where they want to take the club, and getting on board with that as soon as I did was only benefited myself, and I suppose everyone else within the team getting on board as soon as they did has really put a good stamp on where we are at the moment, being top of the table.
How would your coaches and your teammates best describe you, just in a few words? Inside of football and outside of football?
I think the best way would be they would describe me as a handful. Inside of football, I like to express myself in my own way, do my own sort of thing within guidelines that are set by the coaching staff. But yeah, as well, outside of football, I like to be, the one causing the jokes within the change room as well.
You made a comment there about being a bit of a handful, and you've come from, and look, you were playing senior football, but you're with, effectively, some of the guys wouldn't have been 18 at that point. Maybe yourself, you spent some time not being an adult, and I guess legally you're at 18, you're an adult, but making the move into a change room with more senior players, how do you think that might benefit you in the long run?
Yeah, definitely. I think at the start of my career with the United youth team and staying in the reserves, having older players, who are my age now, but 4 years ago when I was 15, 16, really benefited me, because you had people to look up to. You had that real high pressure and, quality of player within, that you're training with every day. But as that sort of progressed and becoming the older one myself, I needed to take that leadership role, and then moving, I guess, out of that system over here to Metro has sort of not put me a step back, but has sort of reignited that younger self within me, having the older heads to look up to, like Fabes and Espo and Tony, for example.
And speaking of left-footed centre-backs, we had a really, really good one here in Adam Van Dommel. Have you worked closely with VD yet, or are you working towards that?
Yeah, we always talk at least 2-3 times a week, whether it be for 30 seconds or 5 minutes. He's always got a pointer to give me, and that's something that I'm really grateful for him putting the time in, even if it's just that 30 seconds to give me a pointer. Because without that kind of stuff, you don't get better as a player.
Lighter questions now. Your most special football memory to date?
I think my most special football memory would have to be 2019. Reserves league. We didn't finish top, but we went through the whole way, and with the United boys back then, who I'm still pretty close to this day. Even some of the coaching staff there, it was something that we're very proud of, and still gets brought up to this day. So I think definitely that's probably my biggest footballing highlight.
Outside of yourself, funniest player in the change room here at Metro?
I think this one goes without saying, but definitely Scotty Nagel.
Okay. Good, I'll keep an eye out for that. Any hobbies or interests outside of football? Are you studying at the moment? Tell us a little bit more about yourself away from the game.
Yes, I love all sports. Any sort of sport that I can watch on TV, whether it be we just had the F1 over the weekend, or AFL, NRL. I love watching all sort of sports and getting amongst it. Outside of football, working at a marketing company in the sales department. So I've been doing that for the last 2 or so months, and that's been really good so far.
No favourites, but the best player you've played with in your short career?
It would definitely have to be, I think, Craig Goodwin. Although I haven't, stepped foot on the pitch with him for a game, but training with him, it's incredible to see, the quality that he brings, every day, as well as, taking the time to give you a pointer here or there, and taking the younger boys who are still there under his wing.
Best player of all time?
Messi.
Good, I agree with you on that. Last one, expectations for this year. Don't give me the vanilla answer. I know everyone wants to win the title, but the team's expectations and your own personal goals and expectations.
Yeah, look, I'll be straight up. We set pretty high goals right from the get-go, and at the moment we're sitting where we want to be, and we want to stay at the top, and also go on to finish premiers and champions, and clean up all three, including the cup as well. So we do have higher standards. As for myself, just want to play as much football as possible. I've played every game so far, so keeping that streak, so to speak, going is definitely top of my list. But getting where the team wants to go and staying there, and collecting all three trophies is where I want to be personally.
Awesome, mate. Thanks for your time. You've started to solidify yourself at the club very, very early on, forming a really good partnership with the skipper there as well. Look forward to seeing your name in lights for the future here at Metro, and then maybe beyond. All the best. Cheers. Thanks again.